Hi, and welcome back to Bricolage with Pink Girly. This is part two of my Daphne Diary Eclectic Journal that I'm putting together. So the last time we were together for video number one, part one, I took apart the magazine, showed you how I did that, and then I cut my pages and talked about putting them into signatures. Now I'm doing this more of an eclectic kind of an arrangement. So there's not necessarily any rhyme or reason. And unless something really sticks out at me like a sore thumb, I'm probably going to leave them the way that I have them for the most part. So I talked about making 3 journals from the one magazine. So I've got 3 signatures for this one, 2 signatures for this, and 3 signatures for this last journal. And all I did was I cut the magazine in half. It measures 9 by 12, cut it at 6 inches, excuse me, folded my pages then in half to make my little folios for my signatures. Then we talked about the pages that had the little letters and notes signed by Daphne or from some of her friends or followers. So I'm putting those in the center of a couple of the signatures so that whoever might become the owner of this little eclectic journal can read that story. I think I ended up with 8 of them. I used 6, I think, to put 2 in each journal. And then when I went through and looked at my pages quickly, like for example, I was looking for a page that might be nice for the front of my signature and then for the center. Now, this one ended up being one of the little notes or stories. This one, let's see, I did the little girl. And this one, oh, I really like that. I like Paris and French things, so I left that with that center. So when you open up the signature, you get the whole shebang there. And then I picked this for the front of this particular signature. And I think this one has a story. Does this one have? Yeah, not a story, a letter. This one's called Visiting, a little note to her diary. And I think I'll probably put them in the book like this. Now you see this, I have this page hanging out here. So this was a page that I decided I wanted this whole image. I didn't want to fold that. So what's going to happen here is I will then either trim this. Oh, it looks like I've got a couple. So this is where my fold is. So I'll either trim it or I'll bring this in and make a pocket. And yeah, see, I don't want to cover that. And I don't really want to fold that to take away from that image. So this one I'll trim. And this one I folded here to get this whole image and these words. So I probably will. If I trim this one here, probably trim this one as well. Was thinking I might be able to make a pocket, but it looks like they're going to need a trim. So I just have my big cutter here. Let me see if I can get it up on my desk without knocking the camera off, which is usually what I do. All right, so I want to line this up where I'm at 6 inches. So that's there. No, that doesn't work, does it? Oh, it's not 6 inches. It's, duh. Let's see. So I really want like 3, 3.5. I do. This is very confusing for me. I don't do numbers. Let's get a regular size page. That might be helpful for me. Gosh, you got them all folded. All right, so I want it to be 4.5. So I do 4.5, and I trim. 4.5, and I trim. Okay. So that's good for that signature. It's so funny, I looked up at my screen and I'm thinking, no one's chatting. This is a video, not a live stream. All right, so then these are going to go back in. So they've got my pictures that I want intact. And then I've got my little girl in the center. Now, some of my signatures now do not have the same amount of pages because I put the letters in. So that added some. Now I'm off a little bit here. I'm not sure how I want to handle that. I'm going to see what my covers look like. So these are my 3 books, which will be my signatures. And now let's look at what we have for our covers. So this is the page I decided to cut because I wanted the cat and the dog. And this I'm going to use to add an embellishment. So I'm going to put that aside. And then this is going to be a cover. And this is going to be a cover. And then I've got to do something with the corner of this one. So I kind of like that for that. And I think I'll do that for that and that for that. Now, if I remember correctly, the gal that I'm kind of mimicking her style of journal off of is Megjournals. And I'll put her information in the description box. And what Meg did was she took a piece of cardstock that she was going to use for her cover. And then she had it cut in half to work with her pages. And then she put a piece of, I believe, fabric in between that she glued onto her papers here. So the first thing I want to do is cut these in half. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Let me see size-wise. Now I didn't pick out any fabric yet. So I kind of forgot about that part. I'm going to just put the camera on and I'm ready to roll. And I'm hoping I can put my hands on the fabric I'm thinking about using. Now, I think you could probably use paper as well, but I want to stitch through. Let's just measure this and see. All right, so that's my cutting edge, and this comes to just about 9. See, I've got a little bit of a crease there from the original magazine. And it's going to have a little, you know what, I'm going to trim that off because I'm going to put fabric, and that's going to lengthen. And I want my edge to be nice and neat. So when I add the fabric, it's going to lengthen the size of my covers. And I can make an adjustment at that time, I believe. Now remember, I haven't done this before, so I'm just kind of winging it. I'm not really following anybody in particular. I watched several folks make journals out of their Daphne's Diary magazines, but I'm kind of doing my own thing. Now I want to cut these in half. And I think the best way to do that is to just give myself a little crease there. A little guideline of where I want that to be. Just a little short of 4.5. And then I want to make sure I get the right front with the right back. All right, so these two are easy. So I want it to be my back and my front, and I think I said I wanted it on this one. And these two, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Let's see, let's do this here and this here. Now see, I still have a little, or I'm a little off. I'm going to have to trim some of these pages, I believe. And then I'm going to, yep, got 3 signatures. So here I got some bigger pages again. So let's do Daphne on the front. And we'll do this one on the back. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Now on this signature, I've got those longer pages. Let's see. Oh, that's the bird. Yeah. Okay, so I think this one's going to be easy. Easy, easy. So I'm just going to fold this in because then I can make a pocket. So just want to crease that nicely. And then this one is also. Now, why did I fold this one? I think that one just got out of whack. So I think that's okay. All right, so here I've got my 3 starts to my 3 journals that I'm making out of my Daphne's Diary 2014 magazine. Now I want a piece of fabric that I can put in between my 2 covers to then stitch my signatures into. Now I'm just trying to think what. So what will happen is I'm going to take, say, this cover. So it's going to go this way. Oh gosh, I think I have some fabric that might be striped like that. Oh, and that ends up on the back. So that might be a good thing. This is kind of cuter though, isn't it, for the front? And I think I like it better that way. See, and then I can build a pocket or something here or decorate the front. I don't necessarily want to decorate the back. And then the other thing I want to keep in mind is that when these pages open up, you know, I might want my cover to extend a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, I think you can. So if I start my page there, let's move this up so I can. This board comes in handy because it's got it's got the ruler and the boxes there. So if I do this, and I've got about a 1/4 inch on this side, and then I make a 1/4 inch on this side. I need a piece of fabric that's only going to be a couple of inches. And then I'm gonna glue the fabric on, so the cover will then wrap around. I think that's what I wanna do. Now, I could use a piece of lace, but I want something sturdier. So I might use a decorative piece on one side and then a piece of muslin or canvas type, fabric on the other side and glue them together to make my so I'm gonna work this out, and then I'm gonna go to part 3, of this series, and then I'll show you in the next video 3, on one of those other, because 'cause I'm making 3 journals, on one of the other journals, how I actually glue the fabric on and then stitch my signatures in. So I'll trim up my pages and, make sure they're where I want them to be so that I'll have that all ready. I'll pick out my fabric, and then I'm gonna work this one up so you can see it done, and then I'll show you in the next video what I ended up doing. So that sounds like a plan, doesn't it? So I didn't keep you too long on this video, so that's okay. And I'm going to go get ready for video number 3, and I shall see you next time. Don't forget, take time to be creative, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.